Good morning, everyone. It's Barb Savoy and Bob Stahl with Keller Williams Arizona Realty. Today is Monday, May 16th, and this is your market update.
You know, Barb, I was watching TV this weekend. I was watching CNN, and I saw that nationwide, the National Association of Realtors is still reporting that the market is not doing that great, that prices are still decreasing, and that the market's bad. But, you know, here in town, it isn't that way, and I thought maybe we should talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, the National Association of Realtors is exactly that, the National Association. So nationally, things are struggling still. And as we all know, unfortunately, Arizona, Nevada, California, Florida, we were the first 4 states to get into trouble. We're also the first 4 states getting out of trouble. So nationally, yeah, there's still a lot of struggle in the real estate market. We're fortunate that here locally we're seeing a lot of activity.
It's true. You know, this weekend there was an open house at 3 properties that I know that another agent in my office had. There were like 10 groups through each weekday, which is a lot. So there's still a lot of buyers going out. And in fact, on Friday, there are people who are writing contract. They were actually worried they were going to lose the house because they couldn't get their pre-qualification to the seller's agent within an hour or something. Now, when was the last time we saw that? I think it's when the market was on fire.
Right.
So clearly it's different here. So if you're listening to the national media, forget that. Follow us here at Keller Williams.
Yeah, follow the local trend. No matter where you are, you need to follow the local trend. Nationally, if you think about how big our nation is, that's a little bit challenging. Obviously, our market here is very different than markets in northern New York, say for sake of the conversation. So if you look at appreciation, you know, 2 years ago, our market declined in Phoenix overall by 43.9% in May of 2009. At this point, we're declining by about 3%. So, and it depends on what pockets of Phoenix you're in. There are some that are already appreciating, and certainly we're getting multiple offers. Again, valley-wide, we have about a 3.5-month supply. 5.5 months would be considered balanced. So we do have a lot of activity in our market. This is the time of year when we see the most activity. We've had 15 consecutive weeks of declining inventory, so that can only be good news.
That's true. So basically the bottom line for this week is that although the national news is still reporting it's not that great, here in town it's a lot different. We're still seeing a little bit of depreciation, like you said, but basically it's flat. And with only a 3-month supply of inventory, if you see a house you like, you really got to put an offer on it, don't you? You really don't have a lot of time. Quickly.
That's quickly. And call first and find out if there's already an offer, because we're seeing a lot of that. So.
Okay, great. I guess with that, we're going to wrap this up. I'm Bob Stahl with Keller Williams. This is Barb Savoy, and I guess we'll talk to you again next week. And if you have any questions about this or anything real estate related, give us a call. Our phone number is 480-767-3000. Have a great week.
See you next week.